Hi, it's Charlie McCann from Stan James. Well, it's time for the talking to stop and the sledging to begin. This evening in Brisbane is the first Ashes test, the eagerly awaited. If somebody had told me 6 months ago that the baggy greens would go off odds against, they are now 23-20 for the series and 6-5 to win in Brisbane this evening, you'd have been laughed out of court. Let's hope it's just not false sort of confidence in England, but there's no question that this is an Aussie side on the wane. Is there one last hurrah from them? But there's no question Ricky Ponting will not want to go down as the first Aussie captain to lose 3 series to England. But even the great man himself, even Ponting, there are just signs that his wonderful powers are on the wane, and there's no Warne, there's no McGrath. Okay, there's still some great players, but we have too, I think, in England, some very, very good players. But just quickly, 23-20 from 8-11, 4-5. We at Stan James, we were always biggest. We always wanted to try and get the Australians in the book. When we went 11-10, we splashed that. Well, we've now gone 23-20 for the series. England is 6-4, and the draw 7-2. And of course, remember, the draw would be suffice for England to retain the urn and keep the Ashes. The first test match this evening, it's generally, remember, a result wicket. There's a bit of bounce at Brisbane. Remember, Perth used to be the fastest wicket in the world, but Brisbane is almost, now this is the one where Australia got such a wonderful record, and they do seem to prepare wickets. They're going to get a result, and 3-1 for draw certainly doesn't attract me in any way, shape or form. Showers forecast, little, maybe a small stoppage of play, but I don't think that anything, and I think that 3-1 is likely to drift, rather 6-5 for Australia and 7-4 for England. I'm afraid I think Australia will win this test match. I think it's a big test match for people like Mitchell Johnson. Remember, he got 121 not out in the Sheffield Shield game. I think there's an awful lot of doubters in Mitchell Johnson. I think he's an extremely talented cricketer, and he's around about 11-2 with ourselves to be top series bowler, and that makes a little bit of I'm quite attracted to that. That's of course at Stan James. Check out stanjames.com for all your Ashes prices, and of course we'll be betting in play throughout the series, starting of course at 11 o'clock this evening UK time. Correct score, an awful lot of it. 6-1 favourite with ourselves at Stan James is the drawn series at 2-2. So we're just suggesting there will only be one no result, and I think that's about the norm in Australia. You would imagine the SCG will turn, Perth will bounce, Brisbane will bounce. Graham Swan has been a short price favourite to be top England bowler, around about 11-8 with ourselves at Stan James. He is the best spinner in the world. I don't think he's going to play an active part in Brisbane. I don't think he is at all, and I think that is going to be a seamless. Hence why I actually think Mitchell Johnson is a big price. Just top series run scorer. Well, Peterson, he really does polarise opinion. Kevin Peterson. I'm not really a great fan. Interesting. I always remember one time Rodney Marsh was interviewed about Ricky Ponting, and he said he's the greatest player he's ever seen or worked with. And he then said, who's the second best? And he said, undoubtedly Kevin Peterson. So for natural ability, there is absolutely no question. Just any old pie thrower can bowl SLA at the moment, and Peterson's playing with his bat away from his pad, and it does look ungainly as well. And I think it's a massive series for Peterson. Is he going to go down as, he's not everybody's cup of tea. He's not everybody's cup of tea in the dressing room. He is 7-1 second favourite behind Ponting. Ponting 6-1 to be top Ashes run scorer. It's then 7-1 for the skipper, Andrew Strauss. Of course, the Aussies will target him, and of course they'll target Peterson to some extent. But Strauss is the wicket, always has been the skipper's wicket that they want. They wanted, of course, with the Athertons of this world before that, Hussain, and now on to Andrew Strauss. 7-1 Simon Catich. He'll get most of his runs down through third man. A very ugly looking player, but a very effective player. When he's not going, he can be smashing all around the crease, but he can nurdle it, and he can play effectively. And remember, for the Alistair Cook and the Simon Catich is maybe not as attractive on the eye as a Ponting or a Peterson in full flow, but both are effective, and both will need to get their head down if their respective teams are to regain or to retain the Ashes. Shane Watson 9-1. I think Watson will have a big series. I like Watson's bowling, I must say. I think he hits the pitch really, really hard. It wouldn't surprise me if he plays an active role in this Brisbane test as well. 4-1, I think he's one of the favourites to be the top sledger as well. Shane Watson as well, I think he can certainly give it out. 8-1 then for Shane Watson. Michael Clark 9-1 about 12 months ago. He certainly wouldn't be 9-1 Michael Clark, but slight concern still about his back and his form, and again somebody who's polarised his opinion in Down Under as well as to his effectiveness. 9-1 then for Ian Bell, and I'm a big Ian Bell fan. I think technically he's probably the best player on. He's the most effective. I think his as I say, his technique is absolutely outstanding. For something reason, he's not a sexy sort of player. He's going to come in 6, so you would imagine he'd be coming in even if we are 100 for 4. And maybe the shine will have gone off the new ball. I can see Bell having a very, very big series. And at 9-1 to be top series batsman, and also to be 9-2 to be top England batsman, I would put him up. But right, as you say, it's time for the talking, myself including, to stop, sledging to start. We're going to return the Ashes, aren't we? Be lucky.